Mine are the undefeated brother combination, Aaron McKenna, who's 14-0 with 7 knockouts, brother Steven McKenna, 11-0 with 10 knockouts. Aaron will be fighting it next week on the 25th of June, and right now, no opponent, right?
Yeah, just waiting on a opponent to be confirmed at the minute, but doesn't matter who they put in front of me. I'll be ready for anyone.
How is that when you have no opponent? Is it like does it throw a big wrench into your planning, or it really doesn't matter?
Doesn't really matter to me because whoever they come with, I'm ready for all styles: southpaw, orthodox, come forward fighter, or mover. I've sparred a lot of top fighters all over the world. I've mixed in with a lot of good styles, so I'm well experienced for any style.
And I'll ask your brother the same question in the sense that I guess I'll ask Steve first. You guys have basically split your time between the United States and LA, now back home in the United Kingdom, Ireland. Do you have a preference of where you guys like to fight, or does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter wherever we can get the fights. So we're over here in the UK. We were in Los Angeles for 4 to 5 years. We learned to trade over there. We were in all the top gyms, sparring the best in the world. We were with Freddie Roach, Robert Garcia. We've been around the world and we've been in with the best, and we know what it's like. We've mixed it with world champions, and it all stands to us when we go into the ring. Over here, not many fighters have the same experience that we have, and we carry it into the ring, and we're ready, to step it up and push on the world level.
Was there a reason why? Like you said, you were in the States for 4 years. Seemed like you're very comfortable there. Maybe setting up maybe a new, like a new home there, or whatever. Was there a reason why it was, or was it just time to come home?
It was around the pandemic. When the pandemic happened, we went home and we had trouble getting back into America with all the restrictions, and we just wanted to stay busy and keep fighting. And then I got a chance to fight with McKenna, and I signed a deal with Hennessy Sports, and been very active over the whole pandemic. 7 fights, and I'm looking now to finish off the year, hopefully 15-0, and keep pushing on.
Aaron, what's it like, taking this journey with your brother? You guys are kind of, you've had 14 fights, he's had 11 fights. You're kind of almost on the same level in the sense of, the competition being moved kind of at the same pace. Is that something that, is very comfortable, being that you have someone that, your brother so close to you, you guys know what each other is going through, and pretty much everything?
Yeah, it's brilliant that we have each other, and especially in all the trainings we do. We do all the same training together. We push each other on, and we make sure we're putting in 100% effort. And when we're getting to the top, it'll be a lot better as well. Hopefully we can share big cards together and then bring big fights back to Ireland.
Either you, what's the differences in terms of both the training and maybe fight night or fights between fighting over there in the UK and in the United States? Either you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, when we're watching each other fight, well, when I'm watching him, I'm just excited because I know he's going in there to take someone's head off, and he's always exciting in there and puts on a great show. So it's just good to see him get in there and do his work, and he's 10 knockouts out of 11 fights. That says enough as it is.
Steve, what's it like? Like maybe differences fighting in the United States in the sense that, especially when you guys are coming up, you guys are probably fighting a little bit earlier in the card, being that, you a few fights, probably not many people in some of these venues. Whereas when you're fighting over there in the United Kingdom, it's starting to get pretty packed from the beginning, and the atmosphere. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, over in America, I had 4 fights, 4 knockouts. I was, raising eyes over there. I was putting on big performances, getting knockouts, and the fans loved it. It doesn't matter where we fight. We're in England, America. Everyone loves our style of fighting. We're fan-friendly fighters. We're tall, rangy fighters, and every time we go into the ring, we go for a knockout. And we want to entertain. So as we develop and move on to world level, we're going to keep building our fan base, and we're going to be very exciting. We're two of the most exciting brothers in boxing, and you're going to be hearing a lot of us.
Talk about the training styles. Obviously, you mentioned Freddie Roach and some of the people that now you're trained with. Is there a difference of the teachings? Maybe a little bit different between the United States and the United Kingdom.
Yeah, over in the States, it's all more slowed down, and they try to knock you out, so you're told more, to set down a bit and hit hard. They all hit hard over there, and more over here. It's still a bit like the amateur type style more so than in America, but it's good to mix up the variations. We've been to Mexico, America, over here in the UK. We've seen a lot of styles, Russia as well. We've nearly seen every style in the world, so we're very experienced in all departments.
You mentioned that Steve mentioned like he would like to get to 15-0. You're already 14-0. Where do you see yourself at the end of the year?
Yeah, so after this fight on the 25th, I'd like to get another 2 or 3 fights before the end of the year. I'd like to stay busy. 22 years old and 14-0, so I just want to keep pushing, and I want to reach world level by the end of the year and fight people like Lara, who's world champion at the minute, and Jaime Munguia. I'd be ready for them in the morning if I got the chance, but I have to step up in 1 or 2 more fights, and I'll definitely be there.
You mentioned Jaime Munguia, you mentioned Lara. There's also Jamal Charlo. Looks like Golovkin's moving up, so maybe his couple belts will become vacant. Preferably those fights would have to be back in the States. Is that something you're relishing? Get back to maybe fight in the States?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to fight someone at world level. There's no reason why I couldn't take them on by the end of the year once I get another 2 or 3 fights under my belt. And there's definitely a lot of openings there in the middleweight division.
And Steve, you're at welterweight. How do you see yourself fitting in? If you get to that 15-0, like you would like to be at the end of the year.
Yeah, I want to be in all the governing bodies rankings. I want to push forward and want to big fights. I'm ready to step it up, and the problem is getting these guys into the ring. I've offered a few people, names fights, but they don't want to know. So once I get the opportunity in these big fights and win them, then I can push forward and go on to world level. I'm ready. I could fight for a world title in the morning.
You being the welterweight, I'll ask you this question. Rumors over the past couple weeks, Spencer Crawford might be close to getting done. So what's the undefeated welterweight think of that fight? Who do you think wins that one?
Yeah, that's a good fight, but I think Terence Crawford wins that one. A wee bit more skillful and 2 good fighters. And down the line, I'd like to be fighting one of them. I'm 6'1" welterweight. I'm a hard-hitting guy, and I'd love to mix up with them guys.
But back to Aaron, you guys are well, actually, Steven, you're both signed with Mick Hennessy? You said that you're both with Mick Hennessy now?
Yeah, we're both signed with Mick Hennessy, yeah, Hennessy Promotions.
I know in the United States there's a thing where certain fights don't happen because of promotional and TV and that whole 9 yards. You guys spent all that time in America. I'm sure you were sick and tired of reading about all that stuff. How's that in Great Britain? Obviously, there's Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, and now boxers on the scene. Are you in a situation where if a certain fight is on, in the offing, it can be made without any hindrance?
Yeah, I believe so. So once you keep winning and you want to fight the best out there, after a while they can't keep saying no. So that's what I want to do. I want to keep winning and winning in style to whoever's in that position at the top at the time. Can't turn me down. I want to keep winning every fight and climbing my way up. And by the end of the year, I want to be involved in big fights.
Something tells me at one point Steven's going to want to get his hands on Conor Benn at some point, and I think Aaron's going to want to get his hand on Eubank at some point. Is that safe to say?
That'd be 2 great fights to get. And, a lot of people would be interested in that. Make that fight happen here in the UK. Why not?
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm trying to create a headline here. So you know how us media guys work. We try to create headlines. So back June 25th for Aaron. What do you want to say? But hopefully, we'll find out later this week about your opponent and June 25th. I believe it. What channels that could be on in England?
It's going to be on Sky Sports. So yeah, it's great to be fighting on Sky Sports. There's a lot of people over in the UK and Ireland. It's a big following, and it's great to get that platform to fight on. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm going to make sure to put on a great fight for everyone watching.
And Steve's looking to get back there. You said sometime in July.
Yeah, Mick has told me I'm fighting in July sometime, so it's looking more towards the end of July. I want to get back knocking people out and step it up.
Well, we wish you guys both best of luck in your impending fights coming up in the Aaron in the next week and Steven in the next month. And selfishly, I look forward to see you guys back in America real soon.
All right.
Thank
you.
Pleasure. Thank you, guys.